Bonjour mes amis, et bienvenue au Pendu dans le Cercle de Lune. Hello friends. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you know by my attempt at a French introduction that this is my series in which I use Terre de Marseille adjacent, or antique Italian decks in rotation with other systems. But this is going to be my TDM, my Terre de Marseille response to a larger spread that I do earlier in the week. And I have begun my deep dive into the Lenormand system, and so that spread is a Lenormand-based spread. And I've already done that video. And just in case you have not seen that video yet, I highly recommend you go watch that one first and then come watch this one. Why? Because the answer to the question that I ask every week here is, the question that I ask every week here is, what is the central message of this last Lenormand spread? So that question is being answered with these cards in response to that spread. So if you have not seen that spread and the reading for that spread, you won't really understand why I'm reading these cards in the way that I'm reading them. Because every time we read cards, we read in response to the question, in response to a situation, right? So, I'll put a card up here for you to be able to click on and hop on over and watch that video and then come back and watch this. Now you don't have to watch any of these videos in one sitting. You can split it up. So watch 5 minutes here, watch 10 minutes there, watch another 3 minutes later. You do you, boo. Yeah? That's okay. Then come back and watch this one. And just in case you have watched that and come back and now you're wondering, what was it that he said? What was that one? What was that spread about? You want a little bit of a refresher? I'm here for you. So the refresher is now. That spread was called Naivete, right? And it was about reclaiming our naivete, about reclaiming our ability to experience without remembering past experiences that were like this. Yeah, having a fresh experience of a person, a place, a thing that we're doing, whatever, right? Experiencing it afresh, without judgment, without constant critique, but with innocence, with freshness, with naivete, in the most positive sense of that word. And that's what we were directed to do that. Maybe giving ourselves some space to experience that, and in giving ourselves that space to be able to see more broadly, more deeply, with more depth, more breadth, perhaps even being in that, given that that ability, that bit of separation from that movement away from distraction, we might even find ourselves opening our hearts and love pouring out over whatever it is that we are looking at or experiencing. Does that make sense? If you watch the video, it will make sense. It really, really will. And we were cautioned against getting into conflict. We were encouraged to enjoy the prosperity that we are experiencing, whatever it is for us. My prosperity is going to be different from your prosperity. That's a good thing. And doing a little bit of introspection, a little bit of reflection will be beneficial for us as well, having reclaimed that naivete. And that naivete, that having reclaimed our naivete, is the key, I believe. Yes? So friends, I am going to show you the decks we are using. I'll show you the spread. It's already all laid out. I'll show you the spread, and just in case you are new here, I will briefly describe the spread so you know what it is you're getting into, and then we'll break the spread into its two component parts and read those parts together. Are you all ready for this journey? Friends, here we go. Here's the spread. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you certainly recognize the oracle deck that was below. Yes? So you saw two decks, right? There were 3 cards above, which are from a Tarot de Marseille deck, and there were 3 cards below, which are from an oracle deck. Yes? And the 3 cards above, I read them with I read them by line of sight, but you notice that there were no humans there. We'll get to that in just a moment. And that gives us the primary message of the spread. The 3 cards below from the oracle deck will either give us some advice or will give us a reiteration of the spread above, or maybe add an extra layer to the reading from the tarot. Yes? And the 2 decks you saw in play were, now the tarot deck is a redrawing of Tarot de Marseille. It's called the, oh gosh, I will put a title down here. I should have written it down. I had it in my head just a moment ago, but it has flown away. It's a redrawing. It's either the Millennium Tarot or the Tarot de Marseille Millennium Edition. It's one of those. So I'll put a little, well, it's also in the description box below. Yeah, in the description box below, there will be a link to this deck through Tarot de Marseille Heritage. A wonderful site. They've got wonderful decks. I'll put a link to their shop. This deck is at the very, very bottom of the page, their shop page. Okay, so scroll all the way down to the bottom and be a little patient with the images. They're a little slow to load, but down there at the bottom, there are 2 sizes. There's the size that I'm using now. It's called the new. This is the 2022 edition. Well, this is actually probably before 2022, but they have the 2022 edition available now. And then there's also a mini, which is really, really mini. It's a very, very, very small deck. It's actually a little bit hard for me to riffle shuffle, because it's so small. But it's a wonderful petite little deck and good for carrying around in your purse or your bag or whatever. Yes? So they'll have 2 different sizes. Be careful you're choosing the size that you want. Yes? The oracle deck is called the Cercle de Lune, and I love this deck for Tarot de Marseille because of 2 reasons. One, it's also a wood block print deck, so it matches the wood block printing of Tarot de Marseille beautifully. It also adds a layer of astrology, a small layer of astrology to the Tarot de Marseille cards we're reading above. Okay? So, friends, there will be a link to this deck in the description box below. I think you're going to have to buy it from France. And you can buy it from France. They ship internationally. The book you can buy anywhere on all Amazon sites, and I highly recommend the book for the Cercle de Lune. But ordering the deck, I'll put a link to the Amazon France site, and you can order there. Okay? Okay, so if you know of a different place to order the deck, let me know in the comments below. Share that information with the community. So friends, okay, what are we going to do? I will show you the 3 tarot cards from above, and we will read those cards together. Are you all set? Here they are. Friends, you just saw from left to right, for you, left is over here, left to right, the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Coins, and the 3 of Cups. 3, 10, 3. 2 3s with a 10 in the center. Yeah, the 10 is flanked by 2 3s. Now, I generally read Tarot de Marseille line of sight, which means I look at what the people in the cards are looking at, the direction they are looking, and that informs the direction I'm going to read the spread. If there's no directionality, if there's no direction, I should say, indicated by line of gaze, for example, there were no people in these 3 cards, I would generally read from left to right. However, because we have a 10 flanked by 2 3s, I see an interesting balance here. And so I'm going to pull the 10 out as the central idea of this 3-card spread. So the 10 is going to be modified or is going to be informed by the 2 3s. Can you understand that? So we start off, I love the crisp lines and the vibrant colors of this deck. We got the 10 of coins, right? 10s are fulfillment, right? They're stability, security, and planning for the future. They are the end of one cycle and the preparation for the next. So it's also the planning for the future in the material realm, right? It's abundance. And we have the creativity to enter into action, to start the new cycle, to start the new thing. We haven't started it, but we've got the creativity. It's burbling, it's bubbling within. It's starting to ferment. And it could actually, because we're at the end of one cycle, there could be a lot of intense activity right now as we are preparing for the new thing. And we've got material success and achievements, which all harken back to that 9 of Pentacles card from the RWS deck in the earlier spread of the week, right? Enjoying the abundance that we have. Enjoying the material success and achievements. And planning for the future. How are we going to do that? Well, we do that first by 3 of swordsing it. By 3 of swordsing. Now 3s, what are 3s? 3s are the first generation, right? The 2s come together and they produce a baby, which is the 3s. So, here with the swords, it's the beginning of presenting our ideas, of communicating what we think and maybe even getting feedback. So we've done the rationalization, we've done the research, and now we're starting to talk about it, right? We're presenting it. This isn't the 5s of breaking out or the 7s of going out and teach. It's the beginning of presenting our ideas. Our ideas blossom, they develop. They have babies, maybe. Yes, the new ideas that we had, they're developing newer ideas, fresher ideas. And we might start feeling enthusiasm with passion for studying and reading and getting more information so that we can produce even more in the future. There's a desire for intellectual development here, with the purpose of getting newer ideas and growth, right? So as we develop our creativity to enter into action and start the new thing, planning for the future is happening, we want to study, we want to learn, we want to gather information, and we want our ideas to blossom, to develop. But not in isolation, right? Because the next card we've got is where are you? There you are. The 3 of Cups, which is new friends, new community. Right? We had the 2 lovers get together in the 2 of Cups, the fresh new relationship, the well, the not stable relationship, but that first feeling of in naivete was an earlier video, of getting together. But here we've got a third person there, a community. We're also able to express our emotions here. Just like we expressed our ideas in the Three of Swords, we're able to express our emotions in the Three of Cups. We're a little less inhibited emotionally. We might feel our love a little bit more youthfully and a little bit more fervently than we have up until now. We might be a little bit intoxicated with love. And remember, in the earlier spread, we had that idea of love pouring out over everything that we see. Here we've got a little bit of that flavor entering. We could be working on a common project, but we're doing it not because we have a common interest so much as we have common feelings. We feel together, and that feeling of camaraderie and companionship is what draws us together to work together. So we've got rediscovery of love, a fervent rediscovery of love, communicating our emotions with community, and working together because of all of that. As we have the core of enjoying, of feeling stable, of enjoying our abundance, and creatively fomenting the next thing to put into action. Planning for the future, not so much intellectually, but the working out of things. Because it's an earth suit, right? The 10 of coins. Yes? Can you understand the difference between imagining and planning and actually working things out? Yeah? Planning the future in a more physical sense. That's, I think, the direction we want to be in. Enjoying that. And enjoying the creature comforts that we have, whatever they be. Okay, so we've got 3 oracle cards below that are interesting. Maybe a little bit unsettling. We'll see. Let's take a look at those cards right now. Friends, the 3 cards you saw from left to right were the axe. Did you see that? The axe, yeah? The trumpet, and the black cat. Now, that black cat is, in this deck, problematic. We'll get to it in just a moment. We'll start off with this axe, which looks like it could be problematic, but actually is a very positive card, right? The side title, and when I say the side title, I mean this little title written this way, yeah, is La Paix, which is peace, yeah, and you see a double-headed axe, which is the union of opposites, yeah, bringing complementary forces together. For example, destruction and protection together. Masculine and feminine together. Yeah. Public and private together. Yes? But also, there are what are called the faces. Now the faces are the bundle of sticks that are surrounding the central axe. Yeah, and those faces with the axe in the center are all together a symbol of a magistrate's power, a magistrate, the local authority of rulership. yeah, a magistrate's symbol of power in olden days, yes? Now, because there are 7 of these sticks visible, they are indications of the 7 planets, the 7 ancient planets, the 7 visible lights, which would be the sun, the moon, right? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, right? Those 7 planets, the classical planets. It's also a symbol of the union of man and the divine. So we got the classical astrology indicated a little bit there. We've also got the union of man and the divine around this idea of harmonizing of opposites. So this is a card for, even though it looks like a weapon of war or a sign of rulership, it's the card for peace and harmony, of balance between opposites. So we want, and remember we had the temperance card in the larger spread this week. So yeah, we want that balance, that harmony indicated there in our emotional lives. The astrology here, there's secondary astrology to each of these cards, and the secondary astrology here to accompany Venus is Mars. Again, the balancing of opposites. Venus and Mars are opposing yet complementary pairs, right? Just like for me, Jupiter and Mercury are a pair, right? And then the sun and the moon are a pair with Saturn. When we think of the zodiacal chart, it kind of works out that way. So yeah, here we have the secondary astrology being Mars, which means harmony can only be achieved if Mars's desires are fulfilled. We can't just keep Venus happy and expect everything to go well, right? We want to keep Venus happy and fulfill Mars's desires. So Venus's desire for beauty and union, and then Mars's desire for sex and creativity, and yeah, we want to fulfill both of them together. Now, when this card is with the moon and Jupiter, they bring productivity to peacetime. So if things are calm for us right now, the next Jupiter and moon card give us some indications of productivity, of getting stuff done, which is great because we had that bit in the 10 of coins up in the top, right? We also have ideas blossoming in the 3 of swords, which is productive. We also had coming together to work on a common project in the 3 of cups, which is productive. So yeah, productivity is indicated here in peace, in harmony, in the harmony not of quietude, but of fulfilling both sides of the scale, by making both sides of the pairs fulfilled and happy. Could be a little bit tricky, but it's possible. Now the next card is what? It's the trumpet. The trumpet. The side title here is Lenormand, which means reputation. It's the announcement of manifestation in full glory. Just like the trumpeter's trumpet when the king or the queen or some higher ranking noble arrives. Yeah? It's appreciation for latent or it's appreciation for talent. It's also that action may be recognized. We might be applauded or pointed out for the stuff that we've done. We might be appreciated. Yeah, this banner here is an indication, which banner? This banner here is an indication of divine blessings, art, life's pleasures, that is our desires, life's raw manifestation, emotions connecting to the divine light, all of that stuff. A playful light, a playful, light-hearted even, a person, eloquence and enthusiasm. We've got all of that potential for us. And we might get recognition for those talents. Which reminds me of that child in the tower, right? As we go up to get this broad perspective from the earlier spread of the week, we get this broad perspective, we are also more visible. So recognition. Now the secondary planet for this card is Mercury. And like I said, Mercury, which is interesting, right? We had Venus and Mars paired in the axe. Here in the trumpet we have Jupiter up here, paired with Mercury, which is the planet of communication, of what was granted by Jupiter. Jupiter grants and Mercury says, this is what's available. And it goes out and tells everybody. Now, if the moon is close by this card, the recognition is shorter. But it's still there. So we've got recognition here. We've got another paired partner, Jupiter, Mercury. We want to satisfy both. We want to satisfy the beneficence and benevolence. I tried to make those two one word. Beneficence and benevolence of Jupiter. We want the expansiveness and the fortune of Jupiter wants to be satisfied, as well as the quick, witty, communicative Mercury that is sometimes a trickster, that is sometimes is very playful. Yeah? Darting around. We want to satisfy our clever, communicative, playful side, as well as our expansive, bountiful, fortunate side. Just as we satisfied our Venus, Mars attributes, we want to satisfy our Jupiter, Mercury attributes. And then we got the Black Cat. The side title here is Trahison, treason. This is not a happy card. And the Black Cat here, though it actually looks blue, doesn't it? Yeah, the Black Cat can be friendly or aggressive. The Black Cat is changeable. Therefore, treason, right? Oh yeah, nice. They go around your back and stab you, right? That kind of treason. You'll also notice that the cat has 5 whiskers on either side, and that one of the claws, the one that's up, let me point to it. This one here, try to get to it from both sides. This paw has 5 claws. So we got that 5 reiterated 3 times in the whiskers, and then in the claws on that one paw. And that 5-ness is an indication of human mutability. Yeah, the desire to change. And if you'll recall from the larger spread this week, from the Lenormand Spread, that desire to change is wrong for us right now. Now, if change happens naturally, that is wonderful. In our naivete, if things develop and grow and we notice things changing, that is great. It's that human, I'm going to change. I'm going to find a new thing to love. That's going to be problematic for us. Now, Beline points to this card and says, bad luck. It has a negative effect on positive cards. But it also points to hidden issues with self or others. Yeah, we might have some problems that have not yet been exposed. And I think that's where we're pointing towards here. Repressed feelings, possibly hidden betrayal. And remember, we had that 5 of Swords card in the earlier spread this week in the Earth portion, excuse me, winning at all costs, Machiavellian tendencies. We want to circumnavigate those, get around them. And I think that's what this card is pointing towards. We have that potential of that treasonousness side of doing the nasty things in order to get what we want. We want to avoid that at all costs. And be aware that there might be people out there around who might be trying to betray us, but we can avoid those by not giving them our energy. Right? If we go and we try to find them and destroy them, that's going to be equally as bad. We want to love our way out and around them. Yeah? Out from underneath them and around them so that we don't need to interact with them. Because they'll bounce off of us. If we're exuding, radiating love and innocent joy and pure interest, curiosity, desire to discover, those betrayer people are going to bounce right off of us. So, this card makes possible blessings of other cards a little bit hypothetical. The trumpet and the axe are possible, but they're not grounded yet. So in order for them to ground, we need to be able to skirt the traps indicated here. Right? Trickery, traitorousness, deal with repressed feelings so that we can open up to our naivete. Allow those inner issues to dissolve and flow away into the past. Release judgment as well. Does that make sense? And if we can do that, then those 3 cards above, the beautiful, powerful 10 of coins experience informed by the 3 of cups and the 3 of swords is possible for us. As we feed both the cups and the swords, the Mars and the Venus, the Mercury and the Jupiter, yeah, we can open up and become most fully our naive selves. That being the most positive stance, living an intentional life. Yes? If that makes sense, let me know in the comments below. If it does not make sense, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And friends, if you want a reading from me, my email address is below. Shoot me an email to thehangedmaninthemoon@gmail.com. We'll get you a reading. So friends, here we are at the end. Thank you. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. You are a blessing to me and to other people when you do that. You really do help other people find us. That's a blessing. And so now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.